Clap together. Sound good?
Yeah.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Saludos familia. Welcome to the Hello Brown and Hello Loud podcast. I am Señor Barragan and I'm here with Celeste the Bestie. She is a content creator, advocate, has over 100K followers across social media. She's the co-founder of People Over Papers or iceout.org.
Yeah, we have a couple names.
We have a couple of names. Celeste, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name's Celeste, co-founder of People Over Papers. You can find it on iceout.org. Yeah, very excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you. Wait, you just said Celeste and you told me Celeste earlier.
Yeah.
I think you're playing with me.
No, like my family calls me Celeste. Like that's my given name. But I grew up with so many white people that I had to make it English. Okay. So it's Celeste in English, Celeste in Spanish. But now that I have like more of like a Latino community around me, more people are starting to call me Celeste instead.
Do you like that?
I don't know why I felt uncomfortable at first, but like I like how it sounds. Sounds better in Spanish.
You don't feel like you're getting in trouble. Because
No.
when you said it, I was like, oh my god, like la mandaron a su cuarto, like Celeste, vete para allá.
No, I like it. I think things sound better in Spanish in general.
I agree. Do you want to tell people like about your platform, like what you do, and maybe you should introduce them to People Over Papers, or do you guys call it Pops? Do you guys ever call it Pops?
People call us Pop. They call us Ice Out. They call us, I don't know, a bunch of things. Insurgents, maybe. Yeah, the platform was, it's been over a year now, and it is a community-based platform where people can report ICE activity to their community. So it's basically like ways for ICE activity. And people can find it on iceout.org. It's totally volunteer run. So even though we're funded by a nonprofit, the idea and the concept of the map came before the nonprofit. So we realized we were onto something and we had to take like advantage of the tax benefits that come with it.
Yeah. How those People Over Papers go across the entire United States?
Yeah. So it captures activity all over the U.S. We've had some reports from like Hawaii, some from Puerto Rico. But we have definitely been following like all of the operations that have happened over the past year. Like it started in LA, Chicago, they hit Massachusetts, Minneapolis, Portland. So there'll be spikes of activity in wherever it is that they're operating.
Yeah, no pressure. No pressure. Tell us about your social media presence, because I'm assuming I don't know when you got started, right? Like, did People Over Papers come before or after you started creating content?
No, the reason that I am now considered a content creator is because of the map. So
the map came first.
The map came first, yeah. Well, I was already making content, like
dances.
I had no, hell no. I had like maybe 3,000 followers on TikTok. I started off making like fitness content at first, and like the idea that you can be in a big body and still go to the gym and be comfortable doing that and not necessarily doing it for weight loss, right? And then I got sidetracked with a bunch of other stuff. And right as inauguration was approaching, I was like, okay, I gotta buckle down. Things are gonna get bad. And I can't, I have multiple identities, right? Like, I'm a lesbian. I am in a big body. I'm fat. I, am Latina. So there's definitely an intersectionality there. And a lot of those identities are going to be affected or are affected by these policies. So I told myself that I had to pick one thing to focus on. And that just so happened to be immigration. Just because I feel like it was so at the forefront of his campaign. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, it's been really helpful. I think it was a good strategy to do that. I have...
So you mean a good strategy to shift from the overall personal stuff over to specifically immigration?
Yeah, I feel like it's been, it's not easy on my mental health, but I think it's been better than it would have been if I had opened myself up to just talk about anything and everything. Mm-hmm. But yeah, as soon as I started the map, that's when people, and it got announced, people started following me from that. And, I just decided ICE activity for sure. And then, of course, any news or policies related to immigration would be important.
That's crazy. That's crazy that you started because of the map talking about immigration in the way that you are now. Because I thought it was the opposite.
Really?
Yeah, I never saw any of your fitness journey. I never saw anything else in general.
I made sure to delete all of that.
which it tracks, right? It tracks that like once you started getting like attention is when like people started to see you.
Yeah.
And I remember like you talking about like the map and stuff like that, but I thought the map came afterwards. Like I always thought that like the initial journey was like being an advocate.
Yeah.
And then like afterwards the map came because of that. So it's like super interesting. Do you ever plan on bringing back any of the fitness or the personal or whatever? And the reason why I say this, right, is I personally, like I'm also a big boy. I think you can tell. People think that I'm like 5'3" online. By the way.
Surprised. I was surprised how tall you were.
I get that all the time. Like, say it to the camera. I'm tall-ish.
He's kind of tall. Averagely tall.
I'm beefy too. But what's it called? One of the things that I realized is that when we make content like the one that you make, like the one that I make, we take away some of the like people aspect of thing, the ability to be able to connect with folks because it's so serious and it's so businesslike.
Yeah.
And I think for our own mental health, I think there is a benefit to be able to normalize that we have a life outside of this, and also for the sake of getting support from folks, right? And the support of getting grace from folks. It's like, sorry, I missed talking about this important thing. I have a life.
Yeah.
I have this other thing. And also like the encouragement that like we can do both. Like you have a full-time job. I think it's full-time. I didn't even ask. You have a full-time job. You have a whole other life and you're still doing this. Like, so why is it not possible for other people that are doing less to be also able to step up?
Yeah. No, I ask that question all the time.
So are you bringing back the fitness page?
Maybe when things settle down. Maybe once I run out of news to like report and talk about.
I don't know that they're slowing down, Celeste.
It kind of is though. It kind of is.
It's not. I just made a video about this. It's not.
Immigration. Immigration isn't making the headlines the way that it was like 2 months ago.
That's true. Well, I hope you do. I recently started going back to my own fitness journey.
Yeah.
I started like taking care of like my food. I used to go on. Do you know what keto is? Everybody knows what keto is. It's just when you just eat so much fat and like your body goes into ketosis.
Oh wait.
And you lose a bunch of weight.
Yes, okay. No carbs, no bread.
No carbs, no bread.
Tortillas, none of that.
I love that. I love it.
That's what our culture is built on. It's frijoles and rice.
I mean, but rice are carbs.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I did keto a bunch of times and I love it because it makes my head feel good. But I can't do it anymore.
Can't relate.
I'm 33. I got tummy issues. What's it called? So I started just like tracking my food and like eating right, and I went back to an MMA gym. I'm lifting weights, all of that stuff. Probably because I don't have a job anymore, so it gives me the freedom to do that. But I think our community will benefit from seeing folks with an audience that are fighting for the right side of humanity to also do that stuff.
To also work out. What's your bench? What's your bench press at right now?
Mine, I have no idea. 3 plates, I think.
Damn.
I know I'm a big one.
You weren't kidding about the beefy. Yeah.
I'm very beefy. I work out a lot. But I think there is like a lot of gaps in our community, dude. I started my content because there was a gap of educated Latino men that were being outspoken about issues like the ones that I talk about.
Yeah.
Right. But there is also a gap when it comes to people that are like telling us to eat right, people that are telling us to focus on joy, people that are telling us to do all of these things. A lot of the people that are getting a lot of attention are all about drama, all about
in the community. You
yeah.
mean? You know, no one cancel me for this, but I really don't know like all the creators in our community.
Good. They suck.
Like keep the chisme over there. Yeah, I'm not like super familiar with the Latino content creator community, and that's probably like a gap, right? Like it didn't just come to me and like I'm gonna have to go out and like seek that out if that's the kind of community that I want. So I think that points to another gap, right? Like, yeah, the lack of Latino spaces. I think especially in such a like I want to say it's unique, but it's not. Like the experiences that you and I have, right? Like educated, we're doing like all this other extra, I call it extracurricular stuff. and then we still have like the personal life that I think a lot of, if you're not Latino, like you don't get it.
Yeah.
Like my mom like grew up, we grew up super poor. Like we grew up in poverty. And like my dad still works construction to this day. He's been super successful in that, but my mom like works at a factory, has worked in a factory for a long time, still does. And I'm like, I don't know if like people can relate to that.
Yeah. I don't know why you just like reminded me of like this thing that happened to me when I graduated from college. Like I think I don't know if you know this. I'm a former teacher, a former high school principal as well.
I kind of knew, but I don't know your full background.
Yeah. So I'm a former teacher. I used to be a Spanish teacher. When I graduated from college, I got hired right out the back. I was 22 years old, and I started teaching, you know, and I'm very good. I happen to be very good at the education part of things. But I remember, this is gonna sound so dumb when I say it out loud. I remember getting my first contract, and then I saw like the amount of money that I was gonna make that year. First year teacher, right? $47,000.
Yeah.
And Celeste, I looked at it and I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm rich.
me with 65.
I'm like, this is how I get my family out the hood.
This is how we get out the hood.
Bro, I was living paycheck to paycheck, dude. I didn't know how I was gonna do it. It got better afterwards once you get like years under your belt. But I think it showcases to, I don't know, just like sometimes people think that when you go to college and you graduate, like you're
that's
good.
it. Yeah. No, like it's a real challenge. I also went through the same thing. I was like, damn, 65 right out of the gate.
Wait, what year was it when you got the 65?
I graduated in 2016. Yeah. So yeah, I definitely felt like I was making it. I also felt like this is how I get my family out of poverty, and that's just like not how it works. I was also living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, it's expensive. It's very expensive. But I think it's also like the part of like, I don't know about you actually. I don't know if in high school you got to learn about like economics and like about what it means to make a budget and what it means to like pay rent and like figure things out. I know that a lot of other places have those like lifestyle classes. No. I did not get that. Same. I went to a college prep like school, so they prepped me to be able to go to college. And then once I was there, it was like, oh, you're on your own.
Yeah.
And luckily I figured it out, but like I didn't know how to make those 47K. And listen, if you live in like fucking Arkansas, like that might sound, actually I don't even know. I don't want to talk shit about Arkansas. Depending where you live, it might
You live in Alabama. Don't come for us, okay?
Like it might seem like 47K is a lot of money. I grew up in California in the Bay Area, and 47K is like paycheck to paycheck.
Is that below poverty? It must be, no?
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so. Because I think to be able to apply for programs, you need to make below 30K. And so I think that's what is considered poverty, right, in general.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That is a ridiculously low amount of money.
I did not get my family out the hood, by the way.
Same here. They're still in the hood.
That took a while. Eventually, though, I moved to Mountain View, California.
Yeah.
Right? And I used to live, I grew up in Robert City, California, in this area that people call Little Mexico, right? And so it's pretty hood. Then moved to EPA, pretty hood.
What's EPA?
East Palo Alto.
Okay.
East Menlo Park, pretty hood. When I moved after I got my first paycheck, I moved to East San Jose, pretty hood, right? And then I moved one more time to like North-ish San Jose, like in the borderline of Milpitas. And some people are gonna say that that's still the hood. Like, dude, there were people that would walk their dogs outside, like at night.
You didn't see that in East San Jose?
No. Nobody walks outside.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody walks outside. But like there were people walking with their kids, and I was like, are y'all crazy? And like, what's going on? It took me a while to get used to it. Like ordering packages, and I'm like, I don't need to worry that somebody's gonna steal them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what? I think that's
true luxury.
That's luxury. I get to order from Amazon, and I don't gotta worry about it. I'm getting hella distracted. I wanted to ask you about your mission and the mission for People Over Papers. Well, we'll start with your personal mission, because I imagine they overlap, but...
Yeah. You know, I'm struggling with my personal mission a little bit, right? Because, like, activity to the map, like, the reports has slowed down. And I'm actually like refocusing on like going back to the gym. I think it was summer I stopped working out. And I don't know what this like extracurricular is going to turn into for me after Trump. What is it? Post Trump. My personal mission, I think, at the moment is like informing people about what's happening, whether it's people that are affected by these policies or not. It's trying to combat misinformation, because I think misinformation in the Latino community is so rampant, especially with AI. And I think like the overall mission for People Over Papers is, again, to inform the community about what's happening in their communities. We're strictly here to inform. That can expand, I think, in the future. But right now, I think that's like where we're most needed.
Yeah. Did People Over Papers get taken down at some point?
Yeah, we were using a platform. I won't name them. We're going to avoid lawsuits here.
I was about to name it. Okay, go ahead.
But they...
Fuck them, though.
Yeah, no, fuck them. We started this thing January 2025. And the reason it started was because, I don't know if you know Jax Cheesemate Talk? She's from Chicago.
Probably not.
She was posting videos, like reading out, like, oh, people messaged me that they were seen here, 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 and here. And I don't know Chicago, so I was like, it'd be really cool if we took that data that you're collecting and put it on a map so people can visualize it. I thought it was going to be like a nice little spreadsheet, nice little map, a week project, right? And I was like, oh, you know what? This could maybe help like push out a little bit of content too. I was completely wrong about that. As soon as she announced it, like thousands of people followed me, and we received over 1,000 reports like the first day. And now we're seeing...
On the first day?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And now we're seeing like on average about 300,000 people a day using the site. Peak was like 500,000 at once. And we started it on a platform that was not made to scale because, again, I thought it was just going to be very manual. Around April, we started getting a little bit more worried about like privacy, knowing that this company, like we're using their service. If they want to shut us down, they can whenever they want. And so a developer actually reached out to me in the summer, and they've been able to help us start developing our own website. We were going to make it an application, an app in the App Store. But then Pambadi hit up Apple, and then they took down all of those apps. So we knew we had to focus and make it a website instead. And then that same, like a few days, like a week later maybe, what's her name? I can't think of her name right now. Right wing, Laura Loomer. Yeah. She tweeted about us, tagged the CEO of that company.
That's spooky.
Dude, she knows who, I hope she doesn't know who I am. But yeah, she like put pressure on this company. They shut us down. We were down for about 6 hours. And luckily, it was 1 week before we were going to launch our website. And honestly, I think she fucked up because it actually got us press and attention and pushed more traffic to the site than if she hadn't done that.
Dude, you're a fucking nerd, huh?
How do you know I'm a nerd?
Because it's like they have this thing, you're like, let me put it on a spreadsheet.
Look, a lot of life's problems can be fixed with a spreadsheet.
I believe you. I think I have my best friend is like that. They're like, I got to make my budget spreadsheet. And I'm like, oh, dude, like, you don't want a piece of paper? But so you got, that's wild. Because I saw that you guys got reposted by Lips of TikTok, I think.
Dude, yeah. We've been they posted about us a couple times. And then they like sick their followers on us to like spam the site. We get so much spam. So like the amount of hangings, like pictures of hangings that I have seen is wild. The amount of swastikas we have seen is wild.
Yeah. Have you thought about exposing those people, or is it all from blank emails?
It's all anonymous because
just for the safety of your own
safety of the people that are at risk by the administration, right? And unfortunately, that also means the safety of the people that hate us. But we're gonna stand by that. Like, we cannot identify our users, and we're not going to.
Yeah, I think that's smart. And I think that really showcases, dude, because I can be kind of a hater sometimes. So the moment that I find out that somebody's doing too much, like yesterday, for example, I don't know why I was on Facebook. I started posting on Facebook, by the way.
Big mistake.
I know. I started posting on
Me
Facebook.
too.
I'm gonna take up space everywhere I can, and I didn't know that there was a messenger feature. People can just message me.
Yeah.
And some guy called me like a wetback, and like said, go back to Mexico. And I was like, what the heck? And this guy's profile is open.
Dude.
Just got married. So I messaged him, and I'm like, I said his full name, first name, last name. I'm like, it's not so smart to message somebody with 100,000 followers to go back to Mexico and being all racist. It'd be a shame if people in Chicago, Illinois found out about this.
Here's your address, by the way.
He responded to question mark, and immediately blocked me. And I'm like, dude, I'm gonna put her in a video anyway.
Damn. Yeah. It's tough.
Y'all should do the same thing.
No. There's integrity in like the anonymity of the site.
Are you saying I don't have integrity?
No. I'm not saying you. I'll go wild on in Instagram, the Instagram comments.
Yeah.
Damn, I hope I don't get canceled for this, but there was this dude that was commenting obviously vile stuff about me in my comments. And again, they always have public profiles, pictures of their kids, their grandkids, their fucking dogs. I checked out his profile and his bio was just like Desert Storm veteran or something like that. So I was like, I wish you hadn't come back from Desert Storm, honestly.
Jesus.
I try to go for the jugular when it's like that, because like if you're gonna talk shit, either one, have the followers to back you up, or two, like keep your shit private. Because I will come for you.
I think it showcases also a lot of the privilege that they have, that they think they can just say things and not be held accountable. And I think some people do get away with it though. Like they do get away with it. With being able to say whatever they want because people don't have time or the energy. Like there are so many people that message me death threats or like they want me to get deported, and I don't have time to get through all of them. I would if I could. Sometimes it's not worth it, but sometimes it's also like free content. Sometimes people get mad at me and they're like, "Why are you responding to this nobody?" I'm like, "Because it's free content."
Hey, you're here, right? You're commenting. Yeah. The amount of times people have also said, yeah, they're going to call ICE on me. I'm like, okay, do it. What are they going to do?
Because you're a U.S. citizen.
I was born here. What are you talking? I'm more American than you are.
I'm an American. No, they do be calling that.
I bleed red, white, and blue,
Actually, fighting for vulnerable people, that's very American. Like, even though this administration will have you not believe it, very American.
That's true. You're right.
Yeah. So it's super random, but I started this trend of asking folks that have Mexican roots, asking them what type of Mexican they are, and then just letting them like answer the question. And I think I can give you a little guidance, right? Like I am not one of the ranchero Mexicans. I do not have a hat.
You've never worn a hat.
I've had the sombrero. I've had sombreros. I've worn them, but you will not see me wearing one on a regular basis or to an event. I don't own like the boots.
Yeah.
Like if they play
the tribal boots.
None of that stuff. I grew up on rock en español, like El Tri, Molotov, like all of those things, like deep. And then when I was a teenager, I got very deep into Mexican rap. And it's like incredible the amount of of stuff that they can get done, and yeah, but like I'm not like the corrido type Mexicans.
Okay.
Like I don't have a mamalona, dude. I drive a tiny Miata. So I was asking other people, like one of the guests that I had, intern Mexican. You should check out his stuff or like at least or read that. Like that was just hella funny. That was like a Pokemon and like World of Warcraft Mexican.
Yeah.
I was a RuneScape Mexican, so.
Okay.
So Celeste, what type of Mexican are you?
Yeah, I see why you asked this question. I'm definitely more ranchera. Like when it was time to dress up, my parents and grandparents, my grandpa and my dad, they would put on the sombrero, the boots, the button-up shirt, got the belt with the big ass buckle.
I do love that shit.
Yeah. Definitely grew up on a ranch, actually. Grew up in a pretty rural part of the country.
You know how to ride a horse?
I have ridden horses, yeah.
Snap.
I've ridden a cow, I've ridden a burro. Yeah, so definitely ranchera, but I would say like if I had to I hate doing that, but if I had to compare myself to people that are like Mexican American traditionally, I definitely like unfortunately assimilated more. And people sometimes white people get surprised that like I'm Mexican because they're like I'm not super brown. Used to be when I would spend more time out in the sun, but but yeah, they get surprised and they're also like, oh, you don't have an accent.
Discúlpame.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck you want me to sound like?
Yeah. People say I'm well spoken. If you've ever heard that, what's it called? Forget the term for it.
That's a microaggression.
Microaggression. That's what it is. Yeah.
Dude,
yeah,
I gotta
yeah.
get better at that. I have the other guest that we have. His name is Vince Monroy. Hopefully, you get to meet him at some point. I'm trying to have like multiple people at the same time. But I tell the fool that he's well spoken, and I'm like, I know what I'm trying to say, but I'm like, fuck, that's not a good look.
Is it a microaggression? If I guess it is, huh?
Yes, it
even
is.
if no matter who it's coming from. Yeah.
It's like, can you say you're well spoken? No, it's the same thing.
That's what my teachers would say.
I just tell the fool you speak good. So you're at ranchera, Mexican. What else?
That assimilated too much.
That
probably.
assimilated too much. Do you like Green Day?
Okay, I did listen. Okay,
Are you
when
like
September
a Rihanna?
ends. Okay, I did go through. I think it also depends like the age range too, right? Like, Avril Lavigne was really big around my time. I never got into like the grunge skater looks. I don't think my body was made for it. With like the really tight skinny jeans or anything like that. Never had like the bangs that like go like over your face like that.
Like, it's not too late.
But I'm definitely like a mix. Like I listened to a lot of that pop culture music that was popular at the time in America. But I like listened to a lot of Duranguense. I know how to dance Duranguense. Like growing up, I would go to los bailes.
No way.
I would dance with men at like, dude, I was like 15 going to bailes with grown ass men asking me to dance. So yeah, like pretty ranchera when I'm in that environment, but also can talk about, I don't know, I guess Drake, if people want to talk about Drake.
You love Drake?
I don't love Drake. I've listened to his music.
Who won?
Kendrick, dude.
Yeah, everybody knows. That's crazy, dude. I don't know how to dance at all, dude.
You don't?
I don't know how to dance at all. I know, I grew up in the Bay Area, so if you play like Mac Re, like I will go dumb, I will do all the things. I know how to do that.
No bump and grind?
No bump and grind. Puro perreo intenso. No, but I wanted to learn, dude. Like I used to be like a pretty heavy drinker back in the day. I'm sober now. I've been sober for like 3 years. What's it called? But before, like, it's just like after I had a couple beverages, like all of a sudden I knew how to dance, and I was a good dancer. But like if I was sober, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I wanted to learn bachata for a long time because in my head I'm like, that's just gotta be a good skill to have.
I don't know if Mexicans were built for bachata.
I don't know if I'm built to dance. I'm hella stiff. I'm just like hella stiff in general. I went to LA and one of my influencer friends, Sasha Ochoa, like I met up with her, we grabbed lunch, and then she was teaching me how to do the cholo cumbias. And bro,
yeah, dude, I'm so jealous of people that know cholo cumbia. I know like my parents listen to a lot of Tejano music too. So like Selena, dude, put on a Selena song. Cumbia, like I can dance that cumbia at like a beginner level, I would say. But cholo cumbia is like something else.
Okay, dude, I'm jealous. Maybe I'll ask you for help learning how to do some of these dances at some point. Like Duranguense, dude, like I would love. I don't even know where.
Duranguense is like the easiest.
I don't even know where I would go to dance.
Honestly, there was a time when I was looking, like in the community that I live now, there isn't the spot where like all the Mexicans go and dance and like have a baile the way that I did growing up. And so for some time I was looking for that place and I just never found it. It's because I think where I grew up, people that are Mexican are from certain parts of Mexico. And I think obviously
it's a regional,
yeah.
A regional thing. You know what's crazy? If you could start people over papers, you can start a dance hall.
Dude, tell me why. Okay. I have thought about starting a dance hall and specifically market it for people like me. And then I'm like, I don't know how many people like me there are actually that would pay for that.
You'd be surprised. Like,
I would turn it into a fitness class, like Duranguense fitness.
I
Yo, get your
think
cardio.
I think some people would love that. I think you're sitting on a gold mine right now.
Hey, TM trademark.
What would you name it?
I have no idea. I always get stuck on the marketing perspective.
You also have a lot of projects right now, I think.
I do. Yeah, maybe down the line. Yeah.
maybe that'll do so good that you can quit your job and focus only on dancing.
I can't imagine not having a job. I think, this is something I think that's interesting about the community. Like, I feel like our families, especially people like families that immigrated here, had to hustle and still hustle like their whole life. That I don't know if I see a world where I'm not hustling. I don't know if you feel that.
Yeah. Well, I used to be a principal, right? And like I managed to do the social media thing and like grow and like scale at the same time that I was a full-time principal, which is like, it's like insane. I don't know how I did it, dude. And I did it sober, y'all, because I wasn't drinking at the time. So I think that matters, but maybe it doesn't. But I think after leaving the job, I got another job as an administrator up until December, and I didn't start doing full-time social media until January of this year. So it's only been like 3 months.
Okay.
Right. But it was like a little bit of like, what am I doing? Like, like first there was imposter syndrome, right? Like I even called you earlier. Like I started doing this influencer thing, almost like minimizing the impact that you have. Like you have 100,000 people across like your platforms that are looking out for you, and you have a website that is seen by thousands of people every day. I think you need to. I have a segment at the end. You're gonna hate it, dude. Where I make people humble brag, or maybe you'll define. But I think the transition for me was really interesting. Mi amado, bless my mom. She saw how much I was burning myself out.
Yeah.
That I think she was cool with me not working. I think in any other scenario, she'd be like freaking out about me. She's like, "Are you okay? Are you depressed?" I'm like, "Yes, both."
Yeah, actually.
But I think if it wasn't because she just believes in me and supports me, which is like rare in Mexican families, like I didn't get that love from anybody else, but my mom like somehow switched it up.
Yes, but I don't know. Like yeah, I think Mexican parents can be really tough, right? But there's also like this like super soft part of us.
That's true.
That when things get tough, like we might not say like, "Oh, te quiero, mijo," or anything like that, but like it's there, I think.
They'll find a way. They'll find a way. Like, do you have pets?
I do.
Did you have a pet when you were I don't know if you live with your parents or not, but like when you were living with your parents, did you have a pet?
Oh, dude, yeah. I know where this is going.
What am I gonna ask? I was gonna ask about dads when you get a puppy and they don't want them.
Exactly. Yeah. My dad did the same shit. Yeah.
Dude, is that a universal thing?
It must be.
That when we got a dog, my dad was like, I don't want this shit.
I think it's a dad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, it's like they were like the number one person around the dog.
I think it might be a parent thing. I think they're like, they know the responsibility of a pet, and when you're young, you have no fucking idea, and so they're like, another fucking mouth to feed.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they're softies.
They are. Yeah. I used to, my dog passed away. I don't know why. I made myself sad right now. My dog passed away.
I'm sorry.
My dog passed away like 2 years ago, and I remember I'm never getting a dog again.
Dude.
But I have a feeling like somebody's gonna bring me a dog, and I'm gonna be like, all right, I guess I'll take care of it, and then I'll fall in love again. Can't do cats.
Are you allergic or something?
I am allergic. Yes.
Damn.
And even
sucks.
if I wasn't, fuck them.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I met one cat one time that was pretty cool.
I met a cat
one time that I wasn't allergic to. I don't know if it's true that the cat was hypoallergenic or whatever, but like the cat was like nice and was walking around me, and it seemed like it was like just like low effort, like a low effort. But I think when you get home and your dog runs up to you and it's like jumping on you, like that's what I would want from a pet. If my cat is like in the bathroom like just sleeping or like in a room sleeping and doesn't even acknowledge that I'm home, I'm like I feed you, I take care of you, like
I have cats. And they obviously...
Cats?
They don't...
How many cats?
2.
Oh, you made it sound like you had like 7.
Maybe someday. They obviously don't have the same energy that a dog does, but they do come and greet me at the door.
That's very nice.
And they meow. They're like, "Hi, welcome back." Like, I think it just depends on the cat. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they have separation anxiety like me.
I know that cat people are not gonna like me, dude, but I feel like cats make your house smell bad.
Really? I think the same thing about dogs.
Actually?
Because they get wet and they smell like wet dog.
So you're not a dog person.
I grew up with dogs. I've had dogs. I love dogs. But then I think, damn, it's fucking cold outside and I don't have to take this cat out to go pee, you know?
I see.
Yeah.
The convenience factor
Yes.
is huge. Yeah, my sister goes to college right now, but she wanted us to have a cat the whole time, and we didn't because we're allergic to.
Yeah.
Like my nose plucks up, and then my eyes get itchy, and it's just like not worth it for me. But she really wanted one, and I had to like veto it anyways. But what do you think about them hairless cats?
I think they're cute. They look like raw chicken sometimes. I don't know if you've heard, but they like secrete oil from their skin, so you have to like clean them.
I'm gonna Google this immediately.
It's like when your face gets oily, probably, and then you just like have to wash your face. You just have to like wipe your little cat down.
So, something about that sounds disgusting to me.
You have to pick up dog poop with your hands.
Is there? I want to know if there is like if in the Mexican community, are people more like for dogs or for cats? Like there has to be dogs, right?
I think it depends on the environment you live. No.
I wouldn't even know. I never even thought about this.
Like think about like people that we come from a rancho, right? So there's like a use for dogs that my grandpa had like dogs that were really good with sheep. But if you think about like people that maybe grew up in like a tight city like Ciudad de Mexico, I imagine having a cat would be convenient.
I'm gonna Google this immediately after this as well.
Yeah, we're gonna have to conduct like some big
research for no reason.
Dogs or cats?
Like the people over papers, report ICE, and also let us know
both.
do you have a cat or a dog? What's it called? I know that I wanted to ask you, what label do you use in general? Because so you have Mexican roots, right?
Yeah.
But you're also born in the United States, so you're United Station.
Yeah.
When you introduce yourself, when you think about your own self, how do you, what's the label that you use in general? Like for myself, I struggle, right? I'm sure like growing up like you're like in the mix that you did also made you double think about like no soy de aquí ni soy de allá, all of that stuff that all of us go through. I landed on the label dreamer for a long time, right?
Okay.
And then later, as I became more educated, I'm like, I actually want to try to acknowledge my indigenous roots. So I was like, I might be tribalized, indigenous, reconnecting. Okay. And I was like, that sounds kind of long. So that just went back to Mexican. But what about yourself? Do you go Mexican American, Chicana, or do you say that you're American?
Yeah, I think I default to Mexican American. I think it depends on the audience too, right? Like if I'm speaking to my cousins from Mexico, like I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I'm Mexican. They're gonna be like, okay, bitch. Like,
cálmate, güey.
Yeah.
No digas mamadas.
Yeah. But if I am speaking to an audience of a bunch of white people, I'm just gonna say I'm Mexican, born in the U.S. The community that I grew up in, like saying Chicana had like a negative connotation to it, or like Gabacho, because I think it felt like a person that isn't in touch with their Mexican roots and their culture. Yeah, I don't know, and I think now like that term is the Chicano. I think used to be what like no sabo is today.
That's interesting. I didn't learn the history of the Chicano term until I was in college. So before that, all I knew is that if you are of Mexican descent, born in the U.S., then you're Chicano. That's all I thought.
Yeah.
And I think the term in the Bay Area that we would use to put somebody down was pocho. Like if somebody is of Mexican descent, born in the United States, and they're like an osabo, they would call them a pocho as a way to like put them down.
Yeah.
Right. But that's super interesting because I've never heard of that. But I can also see how for like people that are like straight up Mexican, it's just like a negative connotation for some folks. So just assume that you are like belittling your Mexican identity.
Yeah.
By adding anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's something for me to explore. I I don't know. I go through phases of sometimes I'm like just listening to music in English, and then I'm like, no, I gotta like go through my phase of just listening to corridos or rancheras or something. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the right label for me is, but I am Mexican American,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, I like that. I think you're one of the first people that like very directly. I'm Mexican American. A lot of people are adding the hyphen in the American part, like that for them gives them like the creeps of like something about that makes me feel like a little
Yeah.
weird.
I mean, again, I think it depends on the audience. If it's all white people, I'm not gonna be like I'm American, even though technically I
Yeah,
am.
technically you are. I learned a couple of years ago that people in southern and South America get like, upset if you say that you're American, if you're from the United States, because they're like, tú no eres americano, eres estadounidense.
Oh
Right.
my
Because they're like,
gosh.
porque todos somos americanos.
I roll.
Really, I thought that was dope. I'm like, yeah, check them.
You know, okay, that's the American in me.
Yeehaw!
Yeah. No, you're not American unless you're no. No, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
All of a sudden.
Yeah, all of a sudden the red hat comes out.
I wanted to ask you about what it felt like to start blowing up when you first did, right? And like I think knowing now that you started with your content in fitness and like life, and I'm sure you got used to like getting I think you said you had like 3,000 followers, so you got used to getting some attention, right? To jumping to thousands of people following you, thousands of messages and stuff like that. What was that experience for you blowing up? And do you remember the moment when you're like, oh snap, like people are watching?
You know, this past year I feel like I've dissociated a lot. Truly.
Compartmentalized?
Yeah, yeah, and I haven't processed all of that. And even today, like I really have to pause and think, and I'm like, okay, if I put this video out, like hundreds of thousands of people might see it. Thousands of people might see it. And that makes me uncomfortable, like really sitting with that. And maybe like, I don't know, that's an issue for me because I'm like, I should probably reflect on that more and reflect on the fact that whatever I put out is having an impact that I'm not recognizing in that moment. I think when I finally realized like, oh shit, what have I gotten myself into was when I hit like 10,000 followers, which happened like over a span of like 2 days.
On Instagram or TikTok?
On TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, again, I don't think I process it on a daily basis. Follower count's not something I think about a lot, but I probably should.
Yeah. Do you remember? So it was like 2 days after that you hit 10K after people
Yeah.
over papers. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then it's just gone up from there. And I don't know, like it grows depending on like how viral a video goes or not, like how much attention it gets. But it's definitely stagnated now. I don't know.
Yeah. Disassociating is like mandatory to be able to like
You think
survive
so?
in the space. Yeah. Going viral is not as fun as people think. Like a lot of people, they want the attention, they want to go viral, but then the first time that you go viral, actually, I don't know if this happened to you, but like the first time that I went viral, it was like stressful. It's like I went from like a couple like dozen people looking at my page, looking at what I was
Yeah.
doing, to like a million people.
What was it that blew up for you?
So when I started, I very similar to you. I think I started with like, I started creating content on the last day that I was a teacher, right?
Okay.
And for me, it was like I want the space to be able to fill the gap that I mentioned earlier, but also I want to be able to continue to educate. Like me being a teacher is part of who I am. I don't want to stop educating, so I want to educate folks, but I also want to have like my space. So I started creating content that was like about being Mexican, about being an immigrant, but also about being a motorcyclist, being a martial artist, about like my diet, like fitness, just like being a dog owner. Like I was obsessed with my dog. So just like all of those things, and I didn't know what I was doing. So like sometimes the content would be like, I was just having fun. Like I was doing like whatever. And the goal is like, let me be funny, let me be outgoing, let me be out of pocket. And when I start getting attention, I'll utilize the attention to be able to talk about important things. I think my first video that started getting attention was like me responding to a Trump supporter about something. The following one, I had taken my students out, out like paintballing or something, and like I had like pretended to shoot one of them, even though I didn't. And that one got like a lot of views, so it was like interesting. Like, okay,
Yeah.
like how do I follow this up? Then the one that got me the most attention was a video about my abuelita, and telling a story about how she gets full watching us eat, and like how we didn't have a lot of food, and like I didn't realize that she wasn't eating because she was feeding me and my
Wow,
brother. And
By the way, that's how they express love.
yeah, exactly. And then that video got like 3 million views. And I just remember that like it was a whatever video too. Like I just did it a la carrera. You know, I went to do something else, and then my phone's blowing up, and I'm like stressed out because now it's like that was a personal story, and people are talking about my parents. They're like, "How come your parents aren't helping out? Bola de huevones." And I'm like, "They're trying." Like, and your abuelita, like I'm sure she could have fed more. I'm sure she was like spending her money. Like people just being like hateful and whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember the feeling of like I want to look at what they're saying. And then like after a while of like a couple of those, yeah, I'm like, ay, me vale verga. Like,
Yeah.
people are gonna say whatever they want. I will jump in and like acknowledge things and be able to engage. But it was a little dissociating. Like that's not even happening, dude. I'm just doing my thing. And then I turned off all of my notifications for everything. Like
Same.
Nothing.
Same.
Now I don't even know when my mom texts me, dude. I have to manually check.
No, same. I have my phone on Do Not Disturb. I hate getting all the notifications now. And yeah, when I first started getting like a lot of engagement on my content, you're right. I felt like I had to look at all of it, and I felt like I had to see what people were saying, and now I really don't care. I've also blocked a lot of people that said awful things. But I think you go from like, I don't know, my phone was dry before I blew up, okay? Like I have a partner, a longtime partner, so it's just me and her. Who else is hitting me up? My phone was dry, so obviously like any message, any email that came in, I would like take my time to really go through all of it. Now like I skim shit because there's so much of it. And when I first got engagement, I felt like I had to apply the same care that I did with all the personal messages and emails to all the notifications and comments and stuff that I was getting online, and like that's a bad idea. Don't do that.
Yeah. When did you start blocking people? Was that something that you did from the beginning, or did you start doing that afterwards?
I think I started from the beginning because they were just like, tag the FBI. I'm like, okay, blocked. Like you're not here for anything useful. I don't know. Do you block people still?
It took me like 2 years.
Really?
Yeah, because I've been making content for 4 years, right?
Yeah.
But for the longest time, I had this rule that I'm never blocking anyone.
Yeah.
Because everybody has room to grow. There's that educator in me, and like part of me still believes that, except that I learned that like everyone has room to grow. I'm not the person that's gonna do it.
Yeah. Everyone has room to grow, sure, but do they want to?
Yeah.
No, some people are actually just like, they're to piss people off.
Yeah. I've seen some people grow in ways that I never expected. Like for example, my favorite uncle, super homophobic growing up. Like, you did something weird, maricón esto, maricón otro, that type of person. Another one of my uncles came out as gay to the family. I feel like everybody knew, but he was
His
like,
brother?
Yeah, his brother. Everybody came out. So my dad, my uncle, everybody, they disowned him.
Yeah.
They stopped talking to him for years. And then after a while, they missed their brother. Like they realized that
Forgot he was gay.
So they brought him back into the family, right?
Yeah.
He started being incorporated back to the family. They brought his partner, right?
Yeah.
But they would still like not talk about him being gay. They're just like, it's just like, ahora no hablamos de eso.
Unspoken, yeah.
When my gay uncle's husband, they got married. He ended up passing away. Super horrific stuff. I happened to be nearby, right?
Yeah.
I think he passed away from cancer. I happened to be nearby because he lived in San Jose and I was working in San Jose. So I was the first person to show up, right? The second person to show up was the homophobic uncle. He showed up with un 12 de cerveza, right? Mm-hmm. To be there for his brother.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know what he said to him. I don't know, whatever, but he was the second person that dropped everything to show up for his brother.
Yeah.
And after that, I think he just changed like the way that he operated. My uncle ended up remarrying afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And guess who walked him down the aisle?
His brother.
The homophobic uncle.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And this uncle also was like super racist to like black people and
Oh.
Salvadorians and all that stuff. And then it was through like I would bring my friends over, dude. I'll bring my black friends over and they would meet him. And then like all of a sudden like he's like, oh, they're not that bad. I'm going to stop with the jokes. I don't know why he hated Salvadorian people, dude. It's just like ingrained. Best friend is
Yeah.
Salvadorian. Brought her in and like they're like best friends now. But this is, I think it was part of seeing changes like that I was like, if that guy could change, other people can.
Yeah, I'm not as optimistic as you are. I think yes, I think people can change. I think the online culture is not what's going to drive them to change. I think if anything, it's gonna keep them resisting from that change. I think they need real life lived experiences.
Yeah, I know you have a lot of projects, but you should come hang out on my TikTok lives one of these days.
Oh. What I don't know what goes down on there.
I open up the space and I just invite I usually have a prompt that says like something that's like triggering to Latino magas. Like the last one that I had was like, Latino magas, are you not embarrassed yet? And then they jump on and we have conversations, and then I try to see if I can have any perspective changing moments. I think you would either have a really good time or a really frustrating time.
It might be a good challenge for me, honestly, to talk to people. I don't know, but I'm a people pleaser. Like I know like deep, like that's who I am. And something that I'm constantly having to fight against. And I feel like if I were put in that environment, I would either be super resistant and combative, or I would just be like, oh, I guess it's not that bad. But
I mean, I run that shit like a Socratic seminar. Like the educator in me comes out, but it's an experience. And you also learn a lot, right?
Yeah.
So I think I have a couple of recurring phrases that I use. Like number one is like, where do you draw the line? I ask them that a lot. Like MAGA supporters, where do you draw the line?
What's the most surprising one?
None of them are surprising. They're like all of them say like, if he were to run if Trump were to run as a president again,
Yeah.
like I would not support him. And then they change their mind afterwards.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if I believe it.
Or they're like, if he's on the Epstein files, and I'm like, he is. Like they're like, then I will not support him, right? Or they're like, if he sends us to war, I will not support him. But none of this have been deterrents in general.
It's just like, well, check.
Yeah, I think the other recurring phrase is like, I'm seeking to understand. Like I tell them that straight up. Like I'm just asking you this. It's not a gotcha moment. I just want to understand where you're coming from. I had a guy yesterday or 2 days ago who compared joining the U.S. military to us. He compared him supporting young kids joining the military to us encouraging young kids to join the cartel. And I was like, what do you mean? Can you explain? Uh-huh. I really want to understand what the fuck you're saying. You should pop by. I think you would either have a good time. You also don't need to jump in the conversation. You can just listen in.
Yeah. Okay. I'll accept the invitation.
That's on camera.
Everybody I'll accept the invitation. Sure. I don't have the same. You have a lot of curiosity in you. I do not. I'm just like.
It's the educator in me. The other thing that I have is I have an immense amount of patience.
Yeah.
It's like one of my superpowers, bro. Like they say like a bunch of pendejadas, dude, and I'm just like, all right, well, where did that come from? Can we talk about it? Why are you so angry? And then like see where that takes us. I think one of the debates that we've been talking about, you don't need to endorse anyone, by the way. I just want to ask your perspective.
Sure.
I told Celeste what I was going to ask her beforehand, just so you know. I'm not getting her mid thing. But do you... I accidentally started a project where I'm interviewing California governors, people that want to be governors for California.
An accident. I know how that happens.
It started with just I got invited to interview Eric Swalwell. Mm-hmm. And then afterwards, I'm like, well, I want to interview other people. So I went to interview him. I interviewed Tom Steyer. I interviewed Ramsey. I interviewed Butch, right? And then there's a couple others that are in the works for me to be able to have conversations in general. But in California, right, finding the right person to support here is necessary, right? A lot of people are very frustrated with Gavin Newsom and his lack of support in some instances, while a lot of people are also praising the support that he is doing in general. So I think it's going to be a two-part question, and then you can take it wherever you would like. Like, number one, is there somebody that you like, somebody that like has caught your eye, somebody that you're like, yeah, this is the person that I think we should be paying attention to. You don't need to endorse them again. And second, are there priorities, or is there like bare minimum expectations that you have for them? Like, a lot of the people that follow me, if the person running for governor does not say that there's a genocide happening in Palestine, they would rather the other side win, right? That type of intensity. Or some of the folks that, like, if you will not hold ICE accountable, I'd rather the other side win. Y'all are the same anyways. I don't believe in either of those things, but that's what they say. What's your perspective?
Oh, a lot of controversy here. Yeah, that's a heavy question.
No pressure.
Yeah. First, I'll say I'm not super well versed in all of the California politicians that are options for governor. Gavin Newsom, he's okay in my perspective. As far as like drawing the line, yeah, there's a genocide happening in Gaza, and they should be able to say that. The other thing, I think, I would say the bare minimum is abolishing ICE. That should be...
To say the phrase abolishing ICE, or
yes.
to have the...
No. None of this fucking Chuck Schumer bullshit about body cams. They need to be ready and down to abolish that agency. Mm-hmm. And like, I recognize, right? Like, oh, politicians have limited power, this or that, right? One thing that I think Gavin Newsom could try doing in California right now would be like, listen, if you are employed by the agency ICE, you are not allowed to work for the California government. You're barred because that disqualifies you. And I think a lot of politicians, like, that is a very easy thing that they could just start saying and doing, mm-hmm. or attempting to do, right? I think I'm not saying that there should be, but there's definitely, I think, more controversy around Gaza. So I think it's abolish ICE because it's like, that is homegrown, that is here in the US. And then right after that is there is a genocide happening in Gaza. Those are my two, I think, requirements.
Yeah. Are there any candidates right now that have caught your eye? Or
no.
I think when you said that you're not like, I forget, well versed in all of them, it's because there is hella of them. There is so many of them that are running. Yes, there is hella of them.
Why?
I think, I mean, there's just a lot of them that are running, and it's spooky because if so many Democrats run, it could make it easier for a Republican one to end up being elected. But also, we have at least the ones that I'm keeping an eye to, at least two very good options of people that are socialist or a third party that are pretty dope. But yeah, I think a lot of what you said are things, except for the acknowledging the genocide. I think a lot of folks are like lacking on putting a stance or like their foot down on that. But a lot of folks are avoiding saying abolish ICE while saying all of the things that you just asked for.
Yeah, that might be like a strategy thing, right? Like, I think the same thing with, I think the big mistake that was made around the Black Lives Matter movement was the phrase defund the police, mm-hmm. Which is literally what you would be doing, right? You would be taking funds that are allotted for law enforcement and putting those funds towards something that is more community-based and helpful for the community as a whole. And I think abolish ICE might have the same negative connotation, and it scares people, and people can't like imagine a world where ICE doesn't exist, which is ridiculous because I'm older than ICE. Yeah. You know?
ICE was started 2003?
Yeah, 2002 I think was when legislation started. 2003 was when DHS was officially formed, I think.
Yeah. All to say is fuck ICE.
Yeah, fuck ICE.
I appreciate that. I think a lot of folks are going to be looking at folks like yourself and myself for guidance around...
no pressure.
No pressure. Luckily for me, though, como no tengo papeles, I can't vote. So I'm not going to endorse
That's
anyone.
a cop-out, actually. That is actually a privilege in this situation.
I'm definitely not going to endorse anybody. Even when I interview folks, I tell them, like, I'm not going to endorse anyone. Like, as much as I like you all. I will say, though, I was pleasantly surprised by meeting Tom Steyer, the billionaire. Right?
Really?
Yeah. Like, they invited me to come by. First, one of the people that works for him saw me, and they're like, oh, like, I think you should come meet him. She straight up said, you'd be surprised. Like, he's a very good guy. And I was like, okay, he's gonna. And then they mentioned me that he was gonna be in Oakland. I think it was the first rally that he had. And I was like, sure, I'll come out. So I got a chance to hear him speak, and I got a chance to interview him, and I was like very surprised how much I like that dude. I like Eric Swalwell too. I like the other folks in general, and I still want to interview some of the people, the Mexican Americans that are running.
Yeah.
Except those fools don't hit me back up. But I was surprised.
They have the Latino vote secured in their minds.
Maybe, but I think there was a lot of things that he said that like were really resonating. Like a billionaire that cannot be bought, right? Like he doesn't have to answer to anybody.
I mean, I guess, but for some reason they like keep wanting to hoard the money.
Well, apparently, according to him, he pledged to give away all of his money, and he's doing it.
Hey, people over papers could definitely use some of that.
If you want to get
If you want my endorsement.
The thing is, like, they might. Like, if you reach out to them about your mission, they probably will.
Interesting, yeah.
But anyways, I will say that out of all the people that I interviewed, I was very pleasantly surprised by his response. Of course, like, I lean heaviest towards like people that are like socialists and stuff like that. I think any of the third party folks, like I just love what they stand for and what they're running for.
Who's the leading like democratic socialist of the bunch?
I don't know. I know that in the polls, if we can trust polls, I think Eric Swalwell was like number 1. He's not a democratic socialist, and then Katie Porter was like number 2, and then I think Tom Steyer was number 3, and then they're like shuffling around in general. But I am unsure. You're like, whoever that is, that's my person.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'll definitely have to do some digging. Swalwell seems like the cookie cutter acceptable option, I think, for a lot of people. I think he probably leans more left than Gavin Newsom does.
I like that fool. Like I got to interview him a couple times. I asked him like very directly about supporting the Latino community, and he like gave me a good response about it. And he seems like the way that you would like ICE to be abolished is the same way that he mentioned. He wants to hold them accountable. He wants to make sure. I think he said that he doesn't want them to get driver's licenses.
Oh damn!
I forget if don't quote me on this. Maybe I got that wrong, but like I think he might have said that. And then he told us a story about how connected he is to the immigrant community because somebody that he knew got deported and he went to see them. So I think he on paper has a lot of the things that we would like from someone.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. I'm learning a lot here.
Like, depends if they contribute to people over papers.
Yeah, our fundraiser's open. No, but yeah, I have heard good things of Swalwell. Katie Porter, I think, is always, I don't know. I think the debate of like gender is still very much a thing. One thing that I am also looking at is who is looking at the Latino vote as a monolith. Like, we talked about all like the different identities of being Latino, right? Like Chicano versus Mexican American versus Mexican. Like, we're not a monolith, and clearly our politics are so different because of how many Latinos are MAGA Latinos.
Yeah. Are you calling out the Cubans?
Yeah, I am.
They know. They're aware.
Yeah, they know.
They know their rap.
I'm also calling out. No, I'm not.
I'm calling out them Mexicans.
No, honestly though, the number of undocumented people that are like, yeah, I would have voted for Trump.
Are you sure they're not just fucking around?
I don't know. Like, it seems something weird to fuck around about.
Like my uncle, the one that used
the
to
homophobe.
Be, the one that used to be
recovered
homophobe.
Yeah.
Like he has a running joke that he loves Trump, For him, that's hella funny because food is undocumented as hell. So he started getting those spam messages from like Trump or whatever. So he'd be like, oh, mi amigo Trump está mandando mensajes. He's just trolling people. But he's a troll. So I think that's him. But I do think that some people out there are very serious.
Yeah, and I think part of that is like the misinformation that comes along with, yeah, like I think what we're trying to battle against, right? It's like it depends on what media they're listening to and like what side of the algorithm they're on their fucking Facebook and TikTok. The amount of AI videos that I get sent to me and people ask me like, is this real? I'm like, no, that is not real at all.
Yeah. AI is getting spooky though. Like it's getting so realistic in general. Even I fell for like an AI video the other day and I double checked it and I checked like the people and it seemed like it was legit and then fell through, got called out, deleted it. I never delete my videos by the way, but I was like, dang. It was also getting views. I was upset. I was like, dang, people are talking about this. And then I'm like, they're talking about it because it's AI, not because of the right.
Because I fucked up. No, yeah. Okay. I have also been victimized by AI. Luckily, I haven't posted something that's AI. But yeah, it is getting spooky. It is getting much more realistic. And that is a problem. It's only going to get worse.
It's only going to get worse. Did you have any friends or family members that voted for Trump? You're like, not that I know. You're like, I have my suspicions.
I know people who voted for Trump. Are we friends? No. I made an official announcement on my Instagram, okay? So if
you're public or private?
Yeah, I'm public.
So you don't have like a private friends only thing?
No, dude. Everybody started following my actual Instagram and I had to delete everything and basically start from scratch. So I have a lot of people that still follow me from like fucking middle school. But I'm very open about my politics, right? And like how I lean left. And so if I know people and it's crazy to think back about like how we grew up and who we were and think like, damn, that person grew up to
be a fucking racist.
Yeah, literally. Like, I guess they were racist all along, maybe, but I didn't know it at the time. But, yeah, and I'm sure I have family members that I don't speak to or haven't been in touch with or, you know, keep in contact with that are, like, pro-Trump. 100%. Like, not gonna lie about that.
Yeah, that's super interesting. I don't think I know anybody in my inner circles that are.
Oh, definitely not me either.
I think it'd be difficult because of my undocumented ass too. Like, how could you be? You know, I did have one friend that ended up being a Trump supporter, and I could tell that he felt guilty about it because I asked him about it. I'm like, it was during Trump's first run. I was like, who do you vote for? And he just looked at me like, oh, I want to say. And
so who did he vote for this time?
I don't talk to him anymore. But he was like, yeah, like I don't want to say. I just need you to know that I voted for the lesser of two evils. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like
actually,
what
no.
do you mean? What do you mean the lesser of two evils? But whatever, dude. Yeah, that guy was a crazy thing. The last thing that I'm gonna ask of you, Celeste, is what I told you at the beginning. I actually gave you a heads up, by the way, because I didn't give anybody else a heads up.
So generous.
I like to end this thing with some of the homies that are of Latina descent to end by humble bragging or flexing or whatever term you'd like to use about like what they do, why they should be followed, why people need to be on the lookout for them. Like, and the reason why I do that is because I find that in our community, people are asked often to be humble about things. To not be proud outwardly about some of the accomplishments that we have done. And I'm sure it comes from a place of like being good, like you don't want to make somebody feel uncomfortable, lo que sea. But I also feel like to a point that does a disservice to, number one, the accomplishments, our goals, and our mission, not just for ourselves, but for other people that would benefit from hearing about those things. I'm just yapping, giving you time to think.
That's what that was. Got it.
So Celeste the bestie.
Real quick, before you ask, why do you think we're like, we don't brag about stuff?
I think it's ingrained in our culture about being like low key about things in general. It could be like out of trying to save face in general, but I think I think it's something about the culture that we grew up in that doesn't exist in other cultures. When I was a teacher, right, I was doing good with my stats. My students were doing good in general. And I would always be very humble about it. I would never talk about it because I was like, why do I need to be prideful about it? Why do I need to be showing off these things? Like, I didn't grow up like that. I need to be humble about it, keep it on the down low. It's my successes, lo que sea. I didn't realize that I was doing a disservice to all of my students who should be celebrated for how good they are doing. I didn't realize how my community could benefit from like knowing that I was doing good in general. My counterparts, the white teachers, had no problem flexing, right? They had no problem flexing things that they hadn't done. I caught them like putting on their LinkedIn, like, I accomplished this thing. And I'm like, what the fuck? You didn't do that. I did that. And it's like, I think it goes along with the idea of like, we're always asking for permission instead of like demanding or taking up the space that we need. One of the many reasons why the Hello Brown and Hello Loud podcast exists around taking up space. And I think we could go down a giant rabbit hole around why our communities are like that. But I think I've given you more than enough time to think.
Yeah. I was stalling. No.
So Celeste, the bestie, Celeste, what do you got going on? What are some things that you can flex? Why should people be on the lookout for the things you're doing? And then you got to look right at the camera when you do that.
Okay. I will say that I think people should follow me because at least until, I don't want to say abolish, ISIS abolish, because that might take forever, but at least for now, I am focused on immigration, and the news headlines are going to move on to other things. They already have. They're focusing on Iran and Israel and everything awful that we're doing there. And so if you want to stay informed about immigration enforcement activity, if you want to stay informed about news headlines and stuff that's happening immigration-wise and the policies, that's a good reason to follow me. We have an amazing website, and if you see ICE or you want to know where ICE is, that's another reason for you to follow me or to follow the community page, right? Like our social media pages. And lastly, I don't know, I was telling you, like, I'm super dry because like the topics that I like talk about on social media are so heavy and so serious, but I don't know, like I appreciate being here and like you allowing me to like show my personality a bit more. Like I am a person and I am multifaceted and I have a lot of intersectionality. I just don't talk about it. And maybe like down the line, that's something that people will get to know about me. Maybe at some point I can like put my last name out there or something.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't. I just made my name Señor Barragán and it was too late. Celeste, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I gotta be honest, like when I started the idea of the podcast, I started making a list of people that I wanted to talk to. And like, you were one of the first people on the list. You were like, actually, I'm gonna be serious. You were like second person on the list. Because it was my boy Internet Mexican, and then I was like, I want to talk to Celeste. Now that I know where I can find her, I forgot what I was talking to you about. Like now that I know where I can find her, because I'd like for the platform that she's created to be acknowledged, and I also want to learn more about it. So thank you for driving out here and for showing us that you're not fucking dry. What are you talking about?
I am dry.
Maybe on the videos, but I'm excited to see when you bring back the fitness. You should do Duranguense tutorials.
Hell no. No.
Do you have any final message for folks? Anything that they should know about People Over Papers, or how can they support if they would like to?
Yeah, tons of ways to support. We're always accepting volunteers. We need moderators that monitor the map throughout the day. That's like a 20-hour operation if you think about it. We're always taking donations. It is community run. We haven't accepted any corporate money. No corporations want to give us money. And so it's completely run by individual donations. And the easiest thing to do would be go out and patrol your community. And if you see ICE, add it on the map.
Yeah. If people want to get involved, how do they outreach? How do they connect with the person that's going to tell them where to go?
Yeah, they can hit me up at Celeste da Bestie with a D, not TH.
That sounded so serious.
Celeste da Bestie. That's my handle since I was 13, and I use that handle across social media. You can find me on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram.
Dude, that's so good that that's your handle. I started with Mexican Crash. Because I used to play Crash Bandicoot when I was young, and I'm like, Mexican Crash, that's the way to go.
That was my my basketball nickname.
What was it?
It's a really long nickname, Celeste the
Celeste the Bestie? You played basketball?
Hell yeah.
We'll bring you back and we'll talk about it. So to closing stuff, familia, thank you all so much for listening to this. I hope to have this out by maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I've been trying to edit quickly, but if not, it'll be out by Tuesday. And then I hope that you're open to coming back at some point. I want to be able to bring multiple creators at a time also into a space. Because I think it'll be dope to see dynamics and be able to educate the community and bring all of our audiences together. But thank you, and I appreciate you all very much. Los quiero mucho. See you all soon. See, you're not dry at all.